For 25 years, Brightview Senior Living has been dedicated to creating an award-winning company culture so residents and families receive best-in-class services. Across our 50 communities, Brightview associates help deliver peace of mind, safety, security, transportation, daily programs, delicious food, and high-quality care if needed. Discover how our vibrant senior living communities can help you live your best life. Visit brightviewseniorliving.com to learn more. Equal housing opportunity.
Let's clear out winter and clean up the lawn with Spring Black Friday savings at the Home Depot. Right now, get the Ryobi One Plus leaf blower for just $89 and make your lawn work easier with a powerful 90 miles an hour of clearing power. And with convenient online shopping, you can order on the app, pick up in store, and get outside sooner. Get your yard spring ready with the Ryobi One Plus leaf blower, now just $89 during Spring Black Friday at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Tired of endless diets and weight loss struggles? It's time to say goodbye to frustration and hello to results. Introducing Smart Metabolic Burn from Brain MD, your breakthrough solution to fight stubborn body fat. Imagine burning fat, balancing glucose levels, and regulating metabolism in just 12 weeks. This unique 2-in-1 product combines the power of 2 clinically studied ingredients in one revolutionary formula. Berberine, which targets abdominal fat, and OEA, which curbs your appetite. With just 2 capsules a day, Smart Metabolic Burn by Brain MD can kickstart your metabolism, fight stubborn body fat, especially that pesky abdominal fat, and support your weight management journey. Right now, save over 30% on Smart Metabolic Burn at GetSmartBurn.com. The lowest price anywhere. That's GetSmartBurn.com. Don't delay. Transform your life with Smart Metabolic Burn from Brain MD. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey everyone, I'm Brian Austin Green.
I'm Sharna Burgess.
And I'm Randy Spelling.
And you are listening to Oldish, an iHeartRadio podcast. So let's jump into this, shall we?
How does that feel?
Yeah. Hello everybody. Hi Randy. Hi baby.
Hi.
I'm already laughing.
Hi everyone listening. Welcome to another episode of Oldish. This is a life lately kind of episode for us. We don't have a guest on this week, so we're just going to sort of talk about what we've been dealing with recently with life, with family, with friends, funny stories. We're going to try and be as educational yet entertaining as possible. Right?
Talking about some oldish
That's
things.
our goal today.
There's been a bunch of things that have made us all feel oldish.
Oh.
Randy, what's one of yours? Because I know Bry's. Tell me an oldish thing that you've experienced this week or recently.
So there's been an ice storm in Portland.
Yes.
And
a glorious ice storm.
Ice storm.
Yeah.
Lots of snow. I actually like it because growing up in LA,
you don't get this.
We didn't get this at all. I mean, my dad and I bought one of those rain catchers to measure the rain to see, we got 1/4 inch today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was
That's
a thing.
funny. That in itself is an oldish story.
I remember like 5 years ago for my kids in Malibu, I had somebody come and they brought big blocks of ice and shaved it down, and they put real snow in our backyard so the kids could sled because they had never been in snow before. So
No
that's
way.
an absolute LA thing. Oh yeah, sure. For sure.
What,
They
love
have
it?
2 trucks. They have one truck that comes that is a giant shredder with a tube on it so they can blow it where they want. And another truck that comes full of tons of these blocks of ice.
Mm.
And so one parks in front of the other, and they just they do hay bales first to sort of set up what the structure will be. And then they just blow all of this shaved ice everywhere. And the backyard looked like we were in Mammoth or something. It was really amazing. It's unbelievable what they do.
That is unbelievable. It sounds really nice. I'm going to take a picture of my setup because I parked the car on the street as opposed to the driveway because I knew snow was coming. Yeah. And I got my glass yellow bin recycling tub and another box and tried to make a flat landing and then shovel a bunch of snow so it would make a tiny little hill.
Yeah.
Oh,
how did that work?
So cute.
It's cute. It was pathetic. It didn't turn out well.
It didn't turn out well.
I saw on Instagram
attempt,
some guy that did a sledding thing for his kids in their backyard, and there were tunnels and it went in circles and it went from like where it was this like crazy elaborate thing that he had
Oh,
done that had to have taken a day just to construct. Like it is a full, it's not just like, hey, there's an elevation here so you can slide down this spot. It was like a full on like park of it. Just, it was unbelievable what he had
wow.
done.
I want to go in that.
Yeah.
So my oldish story
Okay.
is the kids wanted to go sledding every time. It's this, fun traditional thing. Usually once a year we get a little bit of snow. And so they're taking the sleds and we go to a hill and
Mhm.
I look at this hill and I'm going, I don't know about this. I could hurt myself here. I was quickly Rolodexing all
Bro,
the
you
things that
finished
could go wrong.
P90X. Like you're not going to hurt yourself on anything.
Yeah, you're fine.
You could have gone sledding down like a steel mountain in a steel tube and you'd be fine if you fell.
Yeah, there's exercise and weights, and then there's
Right. And
flying
then
down the hill, not
understand.
being able to
Right.
control myself. So
Got
I
it.
went on the sled, and the ice was hard, and I kept going, oh, ow, oh, and by the end, it's like that doesn't feel good.
No.
Didn't we just talk about slides like last week or another one of our apps?
Yes.
I remember talking about going down the slides with Zane, and I do not enjoy this experience. I love it for Zane, but that hurts. It hurts my tailbone. I can't imagine a sled on ice like that.
No, and then my daughter was standing in one, and she was trying to surf down it, and what's coming out of my mouth is, well, be careful.
Yeah.
You don't have a helmet on.
Right.
And I caught myself going, what are you
Right.
doing?
Who am I?
Okay, if she falls, she falls.
Right.
But that idea of, okay, I've now experienced life. I want to save them from being hurt or just say this out loud. And I have to watch myself there because the whole point of doing things is doing things and learning yourself. Maybe that wasn't a good idea, but you have to learn.
Right.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. It's so easy. Like you want to get in and kind of micromanage those little things and keep them as like accident free as possible. But there's no learning then for your children that way. So it's a balance. Like I would never want my kids to really hurt themselves to the point of like a broken bone or
Right.
or something like that. But falling, kind of doing things, it's like, this is, man, welcome to it. Like, oh, you slipped on that floor, so you're not going to run on a wet floor anymore. Like you learn from that.
Brian and I have talked about with Zane, even when he falls or bumps his head, sometimes people can make a big fuss of that, like, and pick him up and like, are you okay? And fuss over it. And so then that makes him feel like he should be afraid of it. But every time he falls or bumps his head or does something, we clap. We go, yay.
Does he do the
Sharna's
look?
great about it. He does the look, and then Sharna goes, "You're okay.
You did so good.
fall, such a
Like-
bit." And he just jumps right up and keeps going. Like he's becoming resilient because she does not react like some horrible thing has happened.
Yeah, because it's so funny to watch babies and young kids, how they fall and they immediately look at you. Should I be
To
reacting?
see what your
How do I
reaction
feel?
is, to see how they're supposed to respond. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be afraid of anything. I want him to be, because I remember being a fearless kid and then life gets to you later on and you weigh up consequences and, suddenly you don't want to go down the slide because you'll have bruises. But as a kid, you don't care about those things. And I want him to be fearless. And I've shared before, I want him to snowboard with us and I want him to be brave enough to just get in and try things instead of weighing up the consequences and will I hurt myself, to just jump in and go, all right, let's give this a go. That's very much Bry's attitude. We talked about this yesterday with our different processes and getting into things.
Yeah. I mean, that
What is
varies
that?
for me. Like DIY stuff, I definitely just jump in and go, well, let's just try it. Like this whole, I'm still in the middle of doing the laundry room where we shot from before. I put up tile myself yesterday. I cut tile, which I've never done. So I had to buy a tile saw. And I learned a lot. I started the first time because I was excited, tiling from the top. I was like, oh, I'm going to fill in this area. It's going to be amazing. But I had nothing to hold the tile at the bottom. So it just like, as the day went on, it just like slowly slid down the wall. And then they were like falling off. And I was like, oh, that's why you start at the bottom of a wall. Like you create. So I'm learning.
So then he had to pull them all off the wall. He had
clean
to
off all the tile, the grout.
He just put in a beautiful butcher block as our top, and he had to like then sand all the grout off the top of that.
Oh no!
He had to go
because
back
we're
doing
black grout, so it stains really easily.
Yeah. But he was great at figuring it out. And the different process for me is I would be like, oh, I'm going to tile a wall. I should research when the first wall was ever tiled so I can find out the history of it to know everything to do it right. And I will like
never get to the wall because you'll spend all of your time learning about how walls are built.
Yeah, overwhelm myself with information and making it bigger than it needs to be. This is so far away from falling and hurting yourself, but it's our different process of things. And I do want Zane
Oldish,
to have...
man, this is how the oldish brain works. See, it jumps from topic to topic.
Tangents.
Yes, right.
But I do want Zane to have a healthy dose of the both of us. When it comes to doing, physical and fun things, have a healthy dose of I'm fearless, I'm going to jump in, but let me learn a little bit about it first. And, with everything in life, I guess.
Y'all want coffee?
Yeah, an extra hot almond milk mocha latte chino?
We got it black or with milk and sugar.
Oh.
If only everything was as customizable as the TD Cash credit card. It lets you choose how you earn points to help you earn more cashback rewards. It's the Mocha Latte Chino of credit cards. Learn more at td.com/cashcard. TD Bank, unexpectedly human. Restrictions apply. See terms and conditions on tdbank.com or visit a TD Bank store for details regarding the rewards program, rates, fees, and other important information. Credit approval required. Offered by TD Bank N.A.
Tired of endless diets and weight loss struggles? It's time to say goodbye to frustration and hello to results. Introducing Smart Metabolic Burn from Brain MD, your breakthrough solution to fight stubborn body fat. Imagine burning fat, balancing glucose levels, and regulating metabolism in just 12 weeks. This unique 2-in-1 product combines the power of 2 clinically studied ingredients in one revolutionary formula. Berberine, which targets abdominal fat, and OEA, which curbs your appetite. With just 2 capsules a day, Smart Metabolic Burn by Brain MD can kickstart your metabolism, fight stubborn body fat, especially that pesky abdominal fat, and support your weight management journey. And right now, save over 30% on Smart Metabolic Burn at GetSmartBurn.com. The lowest price anywhere. That's GetSmartBurn.com. Don't delay. Transform your life with Smart Metabolic Burn from Brain MD. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Elevate your gifting this year with rare and exceptional bourbons, tequilas, scotch, wine, and champagne with personalized engraving, exceptional glassware, and more. From wines to whiskeys, there's a bottle for everyone. For a limited time, save $20 on your order of $150 plus with code IHEART at ReserveBar.com.
Can I get into a life lately story that just happened to Sharna and I? We flew to North Carolina.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. So we flew to North Carolina. A friend of mine had a birthday party out there. So we had what time was our flight? It was like
6 a.m.
Oh no, flying out there to begin with. It was like a 12:30 or 1 o'clock flight.
Yeah.
So we just got to the airport in time. We got through security, all the stuff. And I just, all day long, I'd had this sinking feeling of like, oh no, we need to like allow time. Something's not right. Like, you have those days where it's like, you just feel like I should give myself a little extra time leading up to something. Like, I feel like traffic is going to suck today, or if like you just kind of know in your gut that something is going on. So we get to the gate. Sharna goes, oh, we have like 15 minutes. So let's go to this coffee shop and get some food and a coffee so we can take it on the plane before.
And the gate was right there, like, 50, 70 feet from the coffee shop. So we're not far.
So the whole time we're in the line and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, this is
antsy.
Taking a long time. I'm not feeling good about this.
Which was weird because we had 15 minutes. So it didn't make sense that he was antsy, but we should have listened to it.
Coffee comes, food comes. We get to our gate. And it says New York. is the destination.
Oh no.
And we were like, no, we're going to North Carolina. And they were like, oh, that moved to gate 24. We were at 37. 24 is at the other side of the terminal down a hall.
Yeah.
Now it's 15 minutes, mind you, until the gate closes, not till boarding starts. If it was boarding starts, I wouldn't have cared, but it was literally, she was like, oh, we have 15 minutes until the gate closes. So we're fine.
Right.
Cut to, we are running. So we both ditch our coffees. We throw those out. We throw our food out because we can't run with either one.
Nothing.
And we are full Home Alone sprint through the airport from one end of the terminal to the other to get to our gate in time.
We had about 2 minutes to make it until the gate closed. Even the woman at the gate that we were at, she's like, oh yeah, and that's like closing now.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
it's,
no,
yeah,
it's
they're
not.
almost done. They're almost done boarding. So we're running, and through my head is echoing you finishing P90X and Tony Horton, just like giving me a hard time about the calendar, which I bought, by the way. I bought the same calendar. I'll get into that. I'll get into that story later.
Okay.
So the whole time that's echoing in my head, I keep looking back and Sharna is like huffing behind me. She's like barely keeping up.
Struggle Street. He's in front of me. So I'll get to my part of that story in a second. Devastating.
So we get to the gate. We're the last two people to board the plane, but we made it. We made it to North Carolina. Yeah, I just didn't bother checking the app because I already had our boarding passes.
He's like, but the email said the gate. And they're like, but did you check
I already had
app?
our boarding passes and I had the email
like,
that they had sent me earlier. But on the Delta app, they had changed the gate. So I don't know.
That is oldish. That right there. But the email
I didn't bother checking.
This is what I was wondering, because when you said there's 15 minutes and they're boarding, I have so many questions come up in my head.
Why didn't they let you know that they changed gates? And
right.
Or just did it say on there in 15 minutes? I mean, usually it's a 35-minute boarding process.
Yeah,
it is. So no. We had 15 minutes left. We were running late getting through security.
We had 15 minutes when we got through security. We had 2 minutes left to get from the gate we were at to the gate we needed to be at, because we used those 15 minutes like, oh, well, let's get a coffee.
You were efficient with your time.
They had properly abided by the rules. They had given people 35 minutes to board and all of that. Yeah. We just assumed we were better than people that need 35 minutes to board a plane.
Well, you had that sinking feeling, So cut to, you get there, you make it, you're on the plane, you finally get in your seats. Are you sweating? Are you huffing and puffing like mad people?
Like lungs hurt so bad. You know that feeling when you haven't done cardio for a while and then you're breathing heavy and it like hurts your lungs. And Sharna, she's been a dancer her entire life. So she has never, ever not been in a state of working out and had her cardio and everything together. But over this last year really of Zane, we've just kind of let it slide a little bit because we just haven't really put our energy into doing it. And you know how it is. Like I've
done no cardio.
If you don't have your mind in it,
Yeah.
So here I am running behind Brian. And previously, in our relationship, we would go on runs and I'd be practically dancing in front of him and he's dying behind me.
When we lived in Malibu, we could run on our street and end up at the pier, the Paradise Cove pier. Mm-hmm. And she would be in front of me doing high kicks. So her feet are touching her butt. She's showing off and running backwards. And this is the best way to. So that's.
And he's behind me F you.
Right.
I can't do any
but
of that.
She had never ever experienced not having cardio together because from the point when she can remember when she was young and started dancing, cardio has always been a part of her life.
Naturally a part of my life. So he's at this point, the feet that he's in front of me just keep gaining. And at one point I had the thought I don't need to go to this birthday. It's fine. My chest but I've never felt that feeling of literal knives in my chest and my throat, of the burning sensation. I've pushed myself in workouts to the point of throwing up. Do you know what I mean? Overexertion, but never my lungs saying, we're going to tap out here. We're good. Thank you so much. We're done. We're leaving. My lungs were not having it whatsoever, to the point where it took me an hour to recover on the plane. Because you know what I had? I had that cough. Just every like 10, 15 seconds, I'd be like, like,
and we're the last ones getting on a plane, and we're coughing, and we're thinking like, oh, everybody's going to think like we're bringing disease onto this plane.
Yeah, I was like I feel like I need to tell everyone I'm just unfit, not sick. It felt like I had razor blades made of dry ice in my throat and my chest, and I just could not breathe properly. And I sat there devastated the whole way.
Randy, she had what normal people have that don't do cardio. She's just never in her. She was a superhero her entire life, so it was like when Superman and Superman 2 gave up being Superman and he got his ass kicked in the diner. Remember that whole scene when he's like, "Sir, would you like to step outside?" And then he gets his ass handed to him.
I totally got my ass handed to me by a 5-minute run in an airport. Like, and it was really Randy. I was on Struggle Street, and it's you know what? I took for granted how fit I was, and people would say, "Oh my God, you're so fit." And part of me was like, "Man, they're just saying that." You know, I never realized because I never had to push to get it. I just had it. I've been an athlete my whole life. The physical cardio side of everything was easy for me, and then suddenly here I am. And it's been like, well, Zane's 19 months now. So, and I haven't really done cardio since his birth or since halfway through my pregnancy. And I am so unfit that I'm devastated. And my brain can't make it make sense. I'm still like, no, surely I can do a 5-mile run. I don't understand how this is not possible for me anymore.
Right.
But it turns out it's not possible for me anymore. And now
it turns out that cardio just isn't there once it doesn't just stay once you get it. It's not like you know, okay, I'm part of your life now. Like you have good cardio. It's like, oh no, you got to stay on top of it.
Muscle tone has stayed. I still have my abs and I still do like muscle and strength workouts, but I have not done cardio because I'm like, who enjoys cardio? Cardio was dance for me. But now it turns out I'm going to have to actually do cardio.
I would bet that Randy enjoys cardio.
Huh?
I would bet that Randy enjoys cardio.
Yeah. Do you enjoy it or do you just do it?
Yeah. He's most of his videos, he's like finished jogging. He's like
No. Here's the thing with exercise. I have grown to enjoy it more because of what I get from it. But the idea of going and running for 20 minutes is never oh my gosh, I can't wait to do this. I'm never excited to do it.
But you do it.
I'm excited for the after effect because I know that I'm just going to feel better. My mood's going to be better. I feel more clear in my head. But I don't love cardio. I don't, you know, I'd rather do like a HIIT workout, a high intensity interval training where I'm doing something, but like the same motion over and over again can be a bit laborious.
See, I used to love it, whether it was listening to music or a podcast, our running outside, or it was going to the gym and putting on a show that I love and watching an episode of it while I run. Like I was in flow of it if I was doing it, you know. Back then I didn't do it all the time on big days of dance, but I got into a space of enjoying it. But now I'm so far out of it that it's like,
well, here's the question.
It's horrible.
Here's the question. Are you going to get back in it?
How dare you ask me such things? I don't know. Yeah, I have to. At the end of the day, and this is coming hot off of our episode with Tony, it's like, it's not whether I want to or not. The point is I have to. If I want to be around for a long time, if I want to be healthy for my kids, I have cardiovascular disease within my family, you know, all of these things, the health benefits of it. It's, you know, I'm not at an age where it's like, no, whatever, I'm fine. I'm at that age where I need to be really in tune with my body and paying attention to it and doing all the right things to keep myself healthy for my kids later in life.
So Randy, I'd mentioned it before. We got a calendar and we're working out now. Sharna and I, and we're checking off days that we do. So I'm a red X, she's a black X. And we ended up with the same calendar, the national parks calendar that Tony had, because this is what I was getting into earlier. And then I sidetracked because that's what I do. I remember when I was like, oh, I'm going to go get a calendar. You, Randy, you were like, oh, go to see, they're everywhere. Like you'll find a calendar. I went to 4 different CVS's. And I finally found one and they were like, oh yeah, we have a rack over there. And there were like 4 calendars on it. And that was it. But one of the calendars was the National Parks calendar, the exact same one that Tony had. So I was like, oh, that's a sign. I'm getting the Tony Horton calendar.
That's it. You have the Tony. You're going to have to send him a message and say, look at this.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Just throwing this out there, because being the age that I am at a ripe 45, there's just things that come up all the time where I hear in my head people say, oh, after your 40s, things start to go downhill. You start to notice, aches and pains and different things that you didn't notice. You'll start to lose more hair. It's harder to hang on to muscle. All these things that I would hear that, not being that age, I just didn't pay attention to because it didn't feel relevant to me. And now, just a muscle toning thing. I think my cardio is pretty good, but if I didn't work out for a month, I would feel it. Same thing with muscle. When I went on vacation for the holidays, I worked out a little bit for the first 5 or 6 days I was gone. And then for the rest of the time, when I took the kids to Legoland and everything, I didn't work out. And it's amazing just being off my routine for a week and a half, coming home, how quickly the body lets go of the progress that I've made. Whereas if I was doing the same workout routine in my 20s, mid 20s, even 30s than I'm doing now, I would be on a poster somewhere. But now it's like I have to work to hold on to muscle to really, I mean, it's like a lot more work.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot more work. And I've said this before, when you're getting older, the recovery is the hard part for me. Yeah. Like I noticed when I did special forces, we worked out the first night that we were there. They had us like doing burpees and duck
that's
walking,
right. That looked miserable.
Walking lunge, miserable. So when I tell you miserable is, yes, it was miserable. Even more miserable was the next day for me. My legs were so sore that I could barely walk, but they wanted us to jog everywhere. Oh, if you have to go to the bathroom, you have to run there with a partner. You have to put your 20-pound backpack on and, and we got to go to the next thing. And they're yelling at everybody. And it's like, I could barely run in place. Like I couldn't walk one step. I couldn't walk up the elevation of one step, which is why I dropped out. After a day of that, I woke up the next morning I was like, just give me the night. Let me see how I feel. I woke up the next morning and it was even worse. And I was like, I'm going to hurt myself if I stay and try doing this. Not that I don't think I can do these challenges or I'm not up for the mental part of it all, but the physical side of it, I'm going to end up hurting myself because my body isn't conditioned to recover from such a harsh workout. And I then realized in that, like, why there's an age regulation on the Army and the draft and all of that. Why why athletes retire at 35, 30, their bodies just are not recovering the same way anymore. You can't hurt yourself and 5 minutes later walk it off and get back out. You hurt yourself, you're down for 4 days, recovering from something. I get that. It's not a muscle thing. Like I don't feel any less strong than I did before. And when I work out, I'm still the same weights and we're still jumping in, but now it's like having to be a little more careful and warm up to things because we don't want to hurt tendons and we don't, all of those little things, and want the body to then recover properly to be able to continue on with the process. But that's one of the hard things about aging, man, is your body just does not bounce back the same way it does. Like you were saying, when kids fall, they jump right back up and they're back in. When we fall, we break hips and bones. Yes. Have to sit for a minute and catch our breath and make sure everything's okay. And, and possibly go into a concussion protocol and stuff like that if it doesn't work out well.
So I have a question. You were just talking, and we've talked a lot about exercise last episode, and our own journey with this, I wonder, and I'm throwing this out to everyone. You can write us, you can post on social media on our account at Oldish Pod. What are your Oldish goals? I think it's a great question to ask ourselves.
Yeah.
Because for me, when I think of how I want to be when I'm old-ish, when I'm older, what do I want life to look like? Not what it is right now and how I can maybe better improve certain things, but what do I want to be doing in 20 years, when my kids are older and I'm now the older parent? How do I want to interact with them? And that helps me to know what I have to do now so that I can be that person 20 years from now. And I think that's where it starts, is, making that connection to all the things that you do now, whether it's stretching, whether it's exercise, whether it's eating, whether it's practicing being more present. So when you're in retirement, you can actually feel present versus I'm going to go crazy because I don't have something to do every moment.
Yeah.
Defining what our oldish goals are.
I always talk about being proactive instead of reactive in life. Like always, I would rather be preparing myself for the possibility of something now than having to jump in after something has happened and then immediately try and right the wrong or right the ship, or that scares me. That scares me to death. And that's the fitness and the diet and the things that you're talking about and that Tony was talking about. It's very much along that. It's like, okay, we're getting older. It's becoming much more important what it is we eat and put in our body and what we do with our body. So it's just being aware of that and taking those steps to make the positive choices.
Yeah. Yeah. Also how we spend our time. I mean, this whole snow ice storm for me really clarified something, because I didn't want to go out in the snow. I had the fireplace going. It looked, and it was cold too. It wasn't like it was 30. I mean, it was 16 degrees and with the wind chill, it was.
Yeah, you guys are getting the Arctic cold.
Yeah,
there, right?
We got the Arctic cold, and I didn't want to be out there for 2.5 hours. However, they went out first, and it was weighing on me. I was like, yeah, I'll meet you. And then I thought to myself, am I going to remember my time sitting in my house while they're out there playing and scrolling on my phone and doing whatever? Or am I going to remember that time that I went out sledding and something funny happened?
It was freezing cold, but it was a great day.
Right? Hurt my tailbone on a sled.
Right.
And it was an easy choice for me. It got me to suit up and go out. And every night this week, I ended work a little bit early after my last client. Sometimes there's always things to do, but I said, no, I'm going to go in a little bit early. And we ate dinner a little bit earlier, and I made a fire, and we played a card game called Kings in the Corner. It's sort of like group solitaire. And we laughed, and there were such good memories. And I saw a brightness in everyone's energy of that time of connection.
That's so great.
And yeah, it was just something that that worked for me.
It's so worth it. Like taking the time when it feels like there are other things you can do, to instead sit and go, you know what, I'm going to put everything else on the back burner a little bit because I can. And I'm going to just like spend time with my family and my kids and connect and do stuff. It always pays off. Always. There's never a time when you make that choice and then you get into it and you're like, oh, why didn't I just sit inside on my phone and scroll? Or like, it's never that's never happened to me. It always guarantee when I go out and I put myself in an element that at first seemed like too big of a task, it's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
It always ends up well.
Car is making noises. I should probably take it in.
Ooh,
Ooh, my phone bill is huge this month.
Both girls need braces?
Life is filled with unexpected costs. It's only human to want to keep things simple. Introducing the new TD Clear credit card. With no late fees, no interest, and just a simple monthly fee, it's designed to help you manage your expenses. TD Clear. To learn more about credit costs and terms, call 1-844-TD-CLEAR. TD Bank. Unexpectedly human.
Looking for a healthy, natural mood boost? Boost your health and happiness with Happy Saffron Plus by Brain MD, the 3-in-1 formula for a better you. Happy Saffron Plus was developed by Dr. Daniel Amen, a double board certified psychiatrist and world-renowned leader in brain and mental health. It contains a mix of the most potent saffron, curcumin, and zinc, 3 clinically studied ingredients proven to improve mood, help support your memory, and decrease stress. Happy Saffron Plus is changing lives. Join the thousands already experiencing a happier, healthier lifestyle. Get Happy Saffron Plus with a special offer at gethappytoday.com, where you'll find the lowest price available anywhere. That's gethappytoday.com. Happy Saffron Plus. Make your brain and body happy. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Elevate your gifting this year with rare and exceptional bourbons, tequilas, scotch, wine, and champagne with personalized engraving, exceptional glassware, and more. From wines to whiskeys, there's a bottle for everyone. For a limited time, save $20 on your order of $150 plus with code IHEART at reservebar.com.
Sharna, we were talking and you were sharing something along the lines of, being there, being involved in big moments for everyone's lives. And then, you're headed off to Australia.
I know. I usually plan the kids' birthday parties because I enjoy doing it. And I love, creating this party for them where they get to have a great time. And I love celebrating birthdays. And Bodhi has his 10th birthday coming up, which is such a big birthday, double digits. It's a really big one. And I am going to be leaving to Australia because I've got to go back there for work for 4 weeks. So it sucks because I told him, I'm sorry, baby, I'm going to be away. And I could see his little face get sad. But we're doing all the things to make sure that it's an amazing birthday. We're doing Bri's going to do a trip with him and some of his friends and take them to a cool speedway racetrack and, give him a really special gift. And I'm still planning a birthday, which is just 2 days before birthday party, which is 2 days before his actual birthday. So I still get to do the special things and I can be there for his party and then we leave that night. But it sucks to not be there for his actual birthday. It makes me sad that I'm going to be away for such a big one too, because I really do love being there for all of those moments. And I know I'm being hard on myself because I'm still there for the party and the celebrations and we'll do all the things, but the actual birthday, I know those things are big deals to kids and they remember those things. So I'm definitely sad about it.
I totally understand that, right? I mean, wanting to be there at all those big special moments.
Yeah.
And it's hard because sometimes we have to work. We have to
work. We have to do things. And I get it. And I'm super excited about going to Australia too. My mom's coming with me. Zane's coming with me. But again, two things can be true, right? I'm super excited to be going, but really bummed that the dates worked out in a way where I'm going to miss his 10th birthday. So I feel like I'm probably going to I'm probably going to overcompensate on all the things I'm planning for his birthday and the presents and the things that Brian and I do with him and for him.
It's gonna be really fun leading up to his birthday, though. I mean, it'll be a good time for sure.
I know it will be.
You mentioned something about experiences, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
About having experience more than just gift.
Bodhi's always been kind of hard to choose a gift for. He's so low key, very easygoing, very chill. You ask him what he wants, and he's sort of like, I don't know, doesn't really have things, but he's still on the day wants to feel special, spoiled, made a fuss of. And sometimes gifts are hit or miss, or he'll make a big fuss over them because he feels like he should, but then he doesn't really play with them. And at 10 years old, you don't really play with toys anymore. It's like this in between of what's age appropriate that you're still going to love doing. But I guess Bodhi never really been a toys kid. He's definitely been much more of an experienced person. So for this birthday, Bri came up with an amazing idea of actually giving him an experience of picking a couple of his friends and going away. They get to have their hotel room. Obviously, Bri will be attached to it, and take him to some, cool place where they get to do really cool activities. And so it feels like a boys' weekend away with his besties. And I think that was such a cool idea because for a kid like Bodhi, he is going to appreciate that so much more.
And he's going to remember that for sure.
Forever, than having 10 presents that he may or may not actually like or do anything with. I thought that is a brilliant idea. So yeah, Brian nailed it. And I'm super excited about that as experiences, because even me, experiences over gifts, with the exception of diamonds, obviously,
Yes, I saw that post, by the way, of
I know we're engaged. Yeah. Do you know what's so funny?
Diamonds.
Do you know how many people are like, oh my God, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Like,
and we got engaged months ago.
Thank you. Though I even had a friend text me that was like, oh my God, babe, congratulations. I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure you text me congratulations the first time it got announced. Like, you okay?
That's hilarious.
But yeah,
I love the experience thing. I mean, just so, some kids are really, really, really into gifts, and they're set on the thing. Yeah. But I don't remember what I got for my 7th birthday or 8th birthday. I remember playing with certain toys now in my room. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember on birthdays what I got. But I do remember if there was something out of the ordinary that was special that stood out.
Right.
So that the Raceway experience sounds awesome. Hotels
I think it'll be fun. And Bodhi is last year we for his birthday we happened to be in Hawaii. It was the year
Mammoth.
Before.
We did Mammoth last year.
No, you're right. The year before was the go-kart when we had golf carts. We had rented a Airbnb on a property, so it came with a golf cart, so we could go down to the
in Hawaii.
And for his birthday day, we let him drive the golf cart everywhere, and he was so focused. Like, we have pictures of it. He just if the thing had turn signals, he would have used them. Like, he was so serious about driving it. So I think
he was so
going on
good.
a go-kart track with his friends, it'd be fun.
I think he's going to love
it.
Yeah.
Totally. Sharna, is there something, even if it's 10 or 15 minutes, that you could do just you and him, even if it's in the backyard, something? I mean, you're so good with these things about maybe what it's like to become, double digits, and some of what he has loved about, the ages up until now, and then what it means coming into, I don't know, something.
You know what? I hadn't had an idea until this moment, and you sparked one. Bodhi is also a little bit of an animal whisperer, kind of like Bri is. He loves animals. And when we were talking about doing date days and date nights with the kids individually to get some real quality time with them, one of the things I was talking about doing with Bodhi was going to the wolf sanctuary here in LA. I think that would actually be amazing to go. I think it's called Apex. To go, take him out, like him and I'll take him out to the wolf sanctuary. You get to hang out with wolves and pet them. You can even adopt one. You know what I mean? They could adopt one for his birthday. And that only helps out the sanctuary as well. But I think that would be a really cool idea.
So I think the theme here is that you like taking loved ones on really dangerous experiences. I went cage diving with great white sharks.
Yeah.
You took me on that. And now you're talking about taking our son to a wolf sanctuary.
She seems nice, but really it's all about the sharks and the wolves. Right?
How deep does this go? Like, how dangerous does this get? At what point, as a family, are we like bungee jumping off of a bridge in New Zealand? And you're like, this is amazing. This is a great experience.
Bungee jumping will never be my vibe. I have too many visions of just, that
Shark
cord not
diving
working
wasn't
for
your
me.
vibe. You were like, I'm not getting in the shark cage. You're gonna have a great time, baby. I'll be on the boat drinking.
Yeah, peace
Cut
out.
to you were in the cage. So I question.
No, these wolves, they're great. You see the experience. They have an Instagram page. Apex something.
They have an Instagram page.
They do, but so you can see people interacting with their
of them
wolves.
eating kids and stuff like that.
Right.
It's really amazing.
I hate you so much.
You have
an
to love
incredible
2024. The wolves that are endangered at the sanctuary. They have an Instagram page.
Of course.
We know what they eat for breakfast.
Of course they do. Right.
Yeah.
It's alive.
They're
you get to
so
watch them
friendly.
sleep all night.
They're so sweet and friendly. They're wolves. We'll be fine.
I think that would be an.
I've seen this a couple times now. So I had a colonoscopy this morning.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, is that why? I thought you got a new tattoo or something.
No. So this is the bandage from an IV in my arm, and they did it in the top. So this is the bandage. I can take this off now, but it kind of looks cool. So I think
how often do you get colonoscopies?
I try and go annually, but my doctor, he's only seen me for a colonoscopy at the point when I've had some like gnarly flare up of ulcerative colitis. So he's always seen me at my worst. So he was like, hey, come back in 6 months when you're feeling great. Like, let me see what your healthier colon looks like. I've also been drinking the Armora. I've been drinking the Rise, the mushroom coffee instead of that. And he said, he was like, I can see where all the sores were. And he was like, no, it's all healing up great. Like the inflammation is gone. It's all looking great. So he was like, whatever it is you're doing, just keep doing it.
And are you eating any differently?
So I am, I'm fasting. I'm like intermittent fasting. So Sharna and I are both doing a thing where we don't eat except between the hours of 12 and 6 every day, to just kind of keep the body working properly, not having to overwork in, digesting food and things like that. And then we're really trying to watch what it is we eat during that time when we do eat. It's hard. And I work out in the morning, and I said to my trainer, I was like, this intermittent fasting, do you feel like I'm, there's a risk of me coming in and not having the energy to do it? And he was like, no, you're going to feel great. He was like, everything is going to kick into full gear and you're going to just feel like a new man when you're in here. And sure enough, like, I don't feel that, oh my God, I really need like some protein or some calories or something. I'm feeling lightheaded or cold sweats or any of that.
So you don't get hangry?
No. At first I was really concerned that I would, because I tend to, but the difference between what we're doing now compared to normally I just would forget to eat. So this intermittent fasting kind of came about as an accident, because because
I had
doctor,
a plane flight and I was supposed to be on it. We threw our food and coffee away.
Yeah, totally.
So
our natural doctor, he said to me, he was asking me, he was like, hey, how often do you eat? And I said, honestly, most of the time I forget until I'm like feeling hangry. And then Sharna will go, hey, so I'm going to make you a sandwich. I'm going to let's stop and eat, lunch or dinner or whatever. So he was like, that's great. Keep that schedule. Just then when it's between 12 and 6, eat meals, like make sure that you do. And now that I know I have a specific window to eat each day, I do. And it carries me through that point of getting too hangry. Like, I don't get to that crazy emotional point where my body is so depleted that it's like, oh my God, I forgot to eat. That's why my head hurts. And that's why I'm feeling so, irritated. So I haven't had any of that. The coffee thing, I'm feeling really good from. I was worried about that because I was used to doing coffee, caffeine in the morning. And now I'm not at all. I'm doing the mushroom, this Rise, which there's still a bit of caffeine in it and a bit of coffee in it, but it's not the same as, it's majority mushrooms. And there are so many medicinal qualities to what it is that I'm using. So.
Right. You get all the adaptogens and there's
It's
like
great.
chicory and stuff in there, right?
I literally I've watched like I've always had a bit of a gut, like no matter how hard I worked out, like my lower stomach was always a bit bloated. And when you realize like, oh, it's internal inflammation, like it has nothing to do with the muscles, it has nothing to do with the rest of the structure, but of course you're bloated, of course your gut is distended like that. It's so inflamed and it's so angry all the time. So to be losing that now is amazing. It feels so good. And it feels good to look in the mirror, which I've never been much of a big like mirror person. I don't wake up in the morning and check, like I will go out of the house and like have not looked in the mirror at all. I'm terrible that way. I'll just kind of put on clothes and a hat and go. And I look in the mirror and I'm impressed with that. It's a nice feeling to be able to look in the mirror and go, hey, that's new. That's different. I didn't see that one coming. That's unexpected and it feels good.
Yeah, I think that's real and
Plus the
truthful.
health benefits of it. I'm like to
To
sit
feel
with,
healthy, right?
yeah,
I
to
mean,
sit
you
with my doctor
feel
and for him
better.
to say like your health score is um you are looking and feeling better now than you ever have coming in here before, is like, oh man, whatever it is you're doing, just keep doing it. It's like, okay, shit, this is amazing. So I'm curious to see like 6 months into drinking Armra and Rise, what that does for me. Cause I'm still an infant in all of it. I'm still only a couple months in.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure between the X's on the calendar, working out,
Yeah.
eating a certain way, intermittent fasting. I mean, all the things, right? It's all the
Mhm.
building blocks to get you
Mhm.
to, if you're already noticing a difference. I mean, that's the biggest thing with change, right? And what becomes so frustrating for people and why people give up too quickly is that they don't see the change and
Right.
they try, they'll eat well for a couple weeks or they'll do workouts and then they look and nothing really changes. And
So they're like,
because they
why am
don't see
I
the
struggling
change,
so much? Right. Forget it.
yeah.
Yeah, we're
So,
in a space of instant gratification, right? It's
yes,
it's
For
how
sure.
we all work. We've gotten more and more impatient, I think, as a society, especially with things like social media. The constant scroll of new information, always instant gratification of something. The quicker anything is, the minute meals, the whatever
I
it is,
know.
our life has been made so kind of over convenient for things to be quicker and easier that we don't have patience for the long process for things like this. But it is really important. It's really cool to see the change in Bry and to hear how proud he is of himself, and to also for today have the feedback from the doctor about his internal health. We've had two doctors now say he's in incredible shape, better than he's been in a very long time. And that's massive because when Bry was sick, I was pregnant, and that was terrifying for me. In knowing his story of how bad it got for him last time and that it ended up as a neurological thing, I
Yeah.
watched this man that I love in bed for 6 weeks, losing somewhere between 20 and 30 pounds, a
Yeah.
shadow of himself.
When I would have
Yeah.
these ulcerative colitis flare-ups, they're just debilitating. And this last one, I'm not sure if it is because of COVID, and so my defenses in my body, but my body just was not kicking it
Mm-mm.
like it would. And I got to the point where 6 weeks in, I had lost 25 pounds. I had zero energy because I was so dehydrated and just like I couldn't digest food. I wasn't doing anything really to
Living off like bone
maintain.
broth just to
Oh,
try and get
Mm.
nutrients into him.
um, and at that point, like coming out of that one changed me because I couldn't work out. I couldn't do what I normally do at all during that period. And coming out of it, I remember I was so hungry. I would eat bowls of ramen and like all these things just because I was starving. I hadn't eaten in 6 weeks. And then you look in the mirror and you go, what is going on with my body? Like this is not who I've ever been.
Mhm.
And then it feels daunting to get in and go, okay, I'm going to make a change. Cause I was saying to Sharna before, I've always been fit. I've always been relatively healthy. So I've been really blessed in the fact that for God, 99% of my life, now, my body pretty much looks the way it does. Like I'm not a muscle bound guy. I don't look like I spend hours in the gym, but I'm in good shape. So then to all of a sudden get to a point where I was like, okay, I need to now do something that I've never done before, which is get out of this shape that I don't think looks attractive at all and get back into good shape is daunting, because that's a major task compared to just maintaining.
Yeah, it's such a major task, and so many people are in that same boat, right? Yeah. It's after the holidays, they look in the mirror and they go, oh, okay, I want to do this, and I want my clothes to fit better and look better, but what kind of uphill mountain am I up against? Because now I'm in my 40s or my 50s, and it's that much harder. And for everyone listening who has any sort of physical health goal, is you have to start somewhere and know that it's going to take time. There just is no instant gratification. You can't do one workout and expect that all of a sudden you're going to be in the best shape of your life.
Shake it up though. Try some new things, because sometimes it's surprising what little change you can start with that you start noticing a difference just in changing a meal, like just for breakfast, eating a different way, seeing how that starts making you feel compared to what you're eating for lunch and dinner, and doing these little steps that you may not necessarily see the progress right away, but if you feel it, then it becomes a motivator. It becomes something that pushes you willingly into the next thing. Like I now, because of Armra and Rise, and then having Tony on here, I now have a calendar and I'm putting red X's on it, and I'm in my room every night, whether I can get to a gym or not. I'll do push-ups and I'll do like leg raises and crunches and things. And it's like, just to stay active, just to continue moving. Because movement leads to more movement. The worst thing you can do for yourself, it's like a car sitting in a garage. You're going to end up pulling it out after years, and you have to replace hoses and fan belts and all of those things. If you just maintain it and you drive it regularly, not even hard, but just drive it, it lasts so much longer. It's the craziest thing, but things in motion tend to
stay in motion,
maintain. Yeah. They maintain. Yeah.
This is true. Newton said it himself, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Car is making noises. I should probably take it in.
Ooh, my phone bill is huge this month.
Both girls need braces?
Life is filled with unexpected costs. It's only human to want to keep things simple. Introducing the new TD Clear credit card. With no late fees, no interest, and just a simple monthly fee, it's designed to help you manage your expenses. TD Clear. To learn more about credit costs and terms, call 1-844-TD-CLEAR. TD Bank. Unexpectedly human.
Tired of endless diets and weight loss struggles? It's time to say goodbye to frustration and hello to results. Introducing Smart Metabolic Burn from Brain MD, your breakthrough solution to fight stubborn body fat. Imagine burning fat, balancing glucose levels, and regulating metabolism in just 12 weeks. This unique 2-in-1 product combines the power of 2 clinically studied ingredients in one revolutionary formula. Berberine, which targets abdominal fat, and OEA, which curbs your appetite. With just 2 capsules a day, Smart Metabolic Burn by Brain MD can kickstart your metabolism, fight stubborn body fat, especially that pesky abdominal fat, and support your weight management journey. Right now, save over 30% on Smart Metabolic Burn at GetSmartBurn.com. The lowest price anywhere. That's GetSmartBurn.com. Don't delay. Transform your life with Smart Metabolic Burn from Brain MD. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Elevate your gifting this year with rare and exceptional bourbons, tequilas, scotch, wine, and champagne with personalized engraving, exceptional glassware, and more. From wines to whiskeys, there's a bottle for everyone. For a limited time, save $20 on your order of $150 plus with code IHEART at ReserveBar.com.
Okay, so wait. So before we end for today, there are a couple things, a couple little oldish type articles that we just have to go over.
Okay.
And I have a question for you. So,
right.
songs
Oh,
that are now 20 years old. Songs.
I
So
saw
do you
this list
remember
earlier and I was like, oh man, I was
Green
dreading this
Day?
conversation.
Green Day.
Yeah.
American Idiot.
Yeah. They're grown men now. They're really grown men.
Oh my God.
Usher. Confessions.
That whole album. Oh my
The whole
God.
album.
That was playing. I mean, I was, driving around in my hot little sports car. I thought I was so cool with that on full blast at some point. Also American Idiot. I liked all music.
Ashley Simpson, Pieces of Me. Do you guys remember that song? I remember when that song came out. Like it was.
I do.
Ashley Simpson was like a big name for a moment, and I absolutely remember that song.
I only remember
that
her
was
sister.
that was her big one.
What was Pieces of Me? How does that go?
Don't ask me to sing on here.
Yes.
Are you crazy? I woke
Yeah,
up.
come on, Brian.
I woke up early for a colonoscopy this morning. You guys,
you got
do
it, baby.
the song
I
and dance
believe
right
in
now.
you. I don't even know how it goes.
I do
I
not
can't
believe
sing
in
it.
me. I
What
cannot
about
support you?
Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson?
Oh, sing that one. That's
Randy.
crazy.
Since you've been gone, I can't breathe for the first time.
Get it, Randy.
So all alone.
What about this one, baby? Drop It Like It's Hot. You can sing that one.
I still sing this
that
one.
was with Snoop and Pharrell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, ma, drop it like it's hot. Drop
And
it
the
like
pimps
it's
want to get
hot.
it.
Drop it like it's hot.
I love that song. I was
Yeah.
doing that to my daughters in the kitchen the other day, and they were like, they put up with me. God love them, but they went like this. They just shake their head. They smile and shake their head.
Of course.
God, well, okay. What about this? Yeah. The song is called "Yeah" by Usher, featuring Lil Jon and Ludacris. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, when that came on in the club, that was it.
Yeah, it was shots for me
Yeah.
at that time in the club. I was like, I will do a Jaeger bomb, sir. Thank you so much.
Wasn't that when Lil Jon was like in the middle of his
Oh yeah.
That whole phase?
The song was called Yeah.
Unreal. I love it. It was so good.
Okay, so what about this? Jeff Lewis said something about dimming the lights during dates.
I love
he has
Jeff
dimmer
Lewis.
switches in his house, and when he's on a date, all the dimmer switches go on. What do you think about this?
I love that he said that when you hit 40, lighting is key. So I agree with that. I think lighting is key anyway. Sharna knows. Like I am a lighting person. But yes.
Do you know what's so funny about? So there was, I was going to share such a personal story, but how do I share? Oh, fuck it, whatever.
Oh, you share it.
So a lamp can put Bri out of the mood.
Oh,
if a lamp is shining in the wrong space and it's too bright, it's hitting his eyes. It's like it's not going to work out. He's like, out of the
so
mood.
we went through a whole like
the
night in the
mood
bedroom where she was like, I can't see you, and she turned on a light, and I was like, that light is right in my eyes. Like, why would you? I don't feel romantic now. Like, I feel like I should be like, I'm like shooting a video or something. This isn't right. It wasn't romantic at all.
Yeah, no, lighting he's all about it. And not that it has to be dark, but just like the right lighting. He hates a lamp.
I get Jeff Lewis's comment though. It reminds me of, remember when you were younger and you'd be in a club and then they'd be closing the club and the lights would come on and all of a sudden you were like, oh.
It was a rude awakening.
It's a rude awakening.
Yeah.
That at the point when you hit 40 or so, the lighting can absolutely be a bit of a rude
It softens
awakening.
everything. Let's just leave it at that.
Sure.
Yeah. Hopefully not everything.
Okay, what about that? Right. Wow. Well, apparently a lamp.
Oh no, that didn't happen. But it was just more like emotionally, he's like, this is shit. I can't do this. We're turning it back off.
I'm boycotting this.
Yeah. I'm boycotting this.
Okay, last thing. Urban Outfitters, the store. I like Urban Outfitters.
Yeah.
Vintage iPods. are back. They're selling
the ones with the
believe
touch
that's
wheel
called
on them that
vintage.
clicks and the whole
Yes,
thing.
but here's the thing. I just went through this with my daughter. So as a Christmas gift, I found this MP3 player that plays Spotify. Do you know how hard it is to find something that plays Spotify, or you can get music that doesn't have a million apps? It's like a phone. It's really difficult.
Because now people don't necessarily download songs from Spotify, right? Don't
Right,
you
you have
listen
your
more to
phone.
stations, and so you're a part of it that way. Whereas like Apple Music, you can download songs and have your music collection.
No, I download from
Do
Spotify,
you?
so it's so I can have it offline, so I can have my playlists like on a
Right.
plane.
But it's still a playlist. Like or is it just a collection of your songs I love Daisy.
Sharna, is your dog high?
No, she's wearing a princess sweater, and she honestly feels like this is how her life is supposed to be. Like, so she never
stoned. Bring in the Justin Timberlake song. She is, look at that face.
Hey, Daisy.
I'm so excited that they're bringing back iPods. You know what's funny is I went through a period because I was just reading this also, digital cameras that kids are getting back into those instead of I went through a period where I was like, you know what, I want to start like carrying a little like small Leica,
a point and shoot, right?
Yeah,
One of those.
Leica has these little ones. Leica lenses are great. I love them as cameras, and they have little point and shoots also. And the picture quality was way better. I have tons of pictures in my phone that you take and you look at and you go, "Hey, great picture." And then you save a couple of them into your favorites, and otherwise you have thousands of videos and pictures. So.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to know my theory on this?
Yeah.
In closing, I think these things are making a comeback, just like vinyl records, made a comeback because there's a sense of nostalgia. But what it brings up is a slower time, a place where you have a point and shoot. You're not going to check your dings and bings. You literally have a camera. You look through the lens.
It's just to take pictures.
It's just to take pictures.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's solo. And I think there's something really nice about that. Just a music player. You can go on a walk. You can go on a hike. You can go on a plane trip, and you're not going to be distracted by all the other things. You just have music. There's something nice about just having one thing that does one thing.
The pendulum in life it swings that way. Like it goes from one thing to the far extreme, and then it starts finding a middle ground. Like I've noticed that in music stuff and my turntable and things like that. Like now I am finding a combination of the two that works. Like in our house, we have Sonos speakers, but I also have a turntable in the living room, but I have it hooked up to a Sonos amp. So I can throughout my entire house play a record. And it's so cool to put on a record and you start it from the beginning, it gets to the end, you flip it over, you play the other. It's so nice. So it's amazing. Like you start finding a combination of the two. But I understand like the camera thing that you were talking about. I loved carrying it for that reason. It was like, oh, I'm not going to bother myself just having my phone on me all the time, just in case a moment comes up. I'm going to have my camera in my pocket. And if I want to take a picture, then I'll do that. But otherwise, I'll use my phone when I need it.
Right. So moral of the story, slow down so you too can feel like Daisy. Close up on
everyone
Daisy's
was. She's
face.
like, "What's up, guys?"
Right.
Cut to the princess sweater.
She had me dying not long ago. She's just so chilling.
Look at her. She's ridiculous.
Funny.
Didn't Gen Z recently go through the wind-up camera stage as well? Like all of those things have become super popular again. And I love that. Yeah, the disposable camera. God, you know how many stacks of photos I have from the Kodak disposable one? You wind up, you take another photo, and I would just take it everywhere with me to parties, to
the
whatever.
The excitement was to get them developed and see what you got a picture of. I mean,
right.
Like,
viewing
I
party.
remember.
Oh, I can't wait to see what it
I got some good ones tonight. It was crazy. And you get this stack of photos and you're like, oh my God. It was like the ending of The Hangover, when they're going through the photos, like, we're going to look this one time. You see all these pictures and it's like this rush of like, oh, that's what we did that night.
Right. And that's what like these generations now, like millennials and Gen Z. I am millennial, but the Gen Z especially, they don't have photo albums like we have, like the lined up photo albums we have on our shelves here. And when I get to go back through these stacks of photos because my mum saved them all, like it's so cool to go through them, to physically hold them and remember taking the photo and have them there. I may not ever frame them, but to just have them, because when do you sit and scroll through your phone to just look at things for nostalgia purposes, right? You get lost in a sea of 10,000 photos and that's it. But you'll come across this pack of photos and be like, ooh, a treasure chest. What's in there? And it's been so fun to see that. And I love that this generation now is discovering that. And I hope it stays around for a long time.
Daisy's killing me right now.
Me too. I know. Daisy's so funny. Let's post a picture of Daisy.
Oh, yes. Please, let's post a picture.
Just sitting there meditative.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Just a whole trailer of Daisy.
Zen or edible. Like she got into the trash and ate an edible.
It looks like she got into something and ate something that she wasn't supposed to eat. That's what it looks like right there.
She's baked.
She has space cake written all over.
Well, everyone, another episode of Oldish.
She's when the edibles hit.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We love doing this show. We love that you guys listen and that you reach out to us with questions or thoughts or all of that. We love helping people with positive change and being any sort of inspiration we can through our funny stories, our heartfelt stories, everything that we're going through. So go to the site, go to Oldish Pod on Instagram. You can call us 855 Oldish 3.
Yes.
And
let us know some of the things that you would like to bring back. What are some things from your childhood or some things that aren't really around now or might not be popular that you like or want back?
Yeah.
Let's see. There's probably some great ideas that you have.
Yeah, let's do a deep dive on that. That'd be fun.
All right, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yes, you guys are amazing. Make sure you guys go and follow us on Instagram at OldishPod. And you can also go and leave us a message at our own hotline, which is 855-OLDISH-3.
Make sure and write us a review. Leave us 5 stars if you loved it. Leave us 5 stars if you didn't.
We love 5 stars. We love 5 stars.
Yeah, we like 5 stars.
Yeah. See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you next week, everyone.
For 25 years, Brightview Senior Living has been dedicated to creating an award-winning company culture so residents and families receive best-in-class services. Across our 50 communities, Brightview associates help deliver peace of mind, safety, security, transportation, daily programs, delicious food, and high-quality care if needed. Discover how our vibrant senior living communities can help you live your best life. Visit brightviewseniorliving.com to learn more. Equal housing opportunity.
Does money stress you out? Let Facet flip your financial chaos into clarity.
We feel way more confident and secure in our finances, and with that comes a sense of freedom.
Financial planning from Facet is here to help you improve your life today, tomorrow, and every day after that.
Facet was really the place where we saw all of the tools and the people coming together.
Visit Facet.com, FACET.com to learn more. This ad is sponsored by Facet. Facet Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor is it investment, legal, or tax advice. These testimonials are from current Facet members who are not compensated. All opinions are their own and not a guarantee of a similar outcome.
Tired of endless diets and weight loss struggles? It's time to say goodbye to frustration and hello to results. Introducing Smart Metabolic Burn from Brain MD, your breakthrough solution to fight stubborn body fat. Imagine burning fat, balancing glucose levels, and regulating metabolism in just 12 weeks. This unique 2-in-1 product combines the power of 2 clinically studied ingredients in one revolutionary formula. Berberine, which targets abdominal fat, and OEA, which curbs your appetite. With just 2 capsules a day, Smart Metabolic Burn by Brain MD can kickstart your metabolism, fight stubborn body fat, especially that pesky abdominal fat, and support your weight management journey. And right now, save over 30% on Smart Metabolic Burn at GetSmartBurn.com. The lowest price anywhere. That's GetSmartBurn.com. Don't delay. Transform your life with Smart Metabolic Burn from Brain MD. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.